Recently I got a new climbing harness. It's got a nice wide belt for your back. It's got leg stirrups, and then it's got these floating, what we call floating D-rings that we tie the rope into that go back and forth, and that allows us to, you can either use a single system or a split tail system, so you're tied in one or two parts and they move. It's got D-rings on the sides, that's for your flip line, and of course it's got little rings for carrying. This is what attached to your chainsaw, and on this side I like to carry my handsaw, my weight bags. So that's your climbing harness. I had a Buckingham harness. My original harness I got in 1996, and I had that until recently. And this is the modern version. It's not leather, and it's not near as heavy as the ones used to be. And frankly, it's a lot more comfortable to sit in for hours on end. When we're removing trees, we wear climbing spikes. Climbing spikes go over your shoes, and they tie into they attached just below the knee, as well as around the boot. And that allows you, that spike allows you, we only use these when we're removing trees. If the tree's going to be removed, it doesn't matter if we damage it, because the spike severely damages the bark of the tree. But this allows us to climb the stem of the tree, and we just kind of stick that in and sort of create a step. Knowledgeable arborists only use the climbing spikes when we're removing a tree. Got a bunch of ropes. I got a new rope here I haven't even taken out of the package yet. This is generally a rigging rope. A lot of times when you're in a tree, you have one rope that you the climber is attached to, then you got one rope that you're using to rig limbs out and wood out of the tree, and you don't want those to be confused. The guy's on the ground. So, so we'll try to use two ropes that are far apart in color. So they don't accidentally grab the wrong one and start yanking on it and yank me out of the tree or whatever. I like to use this true blue. It's kind of a mess right now, but for climbing rope is because it's kind of soft, and the type of knot that I like to use works well with the true blue. This stable braid rope dries out faster, and we like to use this for rigging rope. This is actually a 5/8 inch. I'll generally go with a 5/8 inch. A bigger rope, your big rope would be a 3/4 inch. I don't even have one of those at this time, so that should tell you we don't do a lot of big removals anymore. I'm going to show you attached to the harness is a flip line, and this is just an extra flip line. When you're in the tree, you use this kind of like a short rope that goes around the trunk of the tree, and you're attached to it. I got different lengths. So we have one for really big trees. This is a friction device, so that when you're tied into it and you got pressure on it, it locks into place. But then if you take your weight off of it, it's easy to move it, in one direction or another. Of course, a carabiner would attach that to your harness. Just allows you to sit steady in one place. A lot of times for the purpose of making a cut. A lot of times, even if you're hanging on the rope, we'll use the flip line, attach that to a limb nearby to kind of help hold us in position to cut the rope, to make the cut. The flip line has always got a steel core. You can see that's a quarter-inch cable, and that way, if you happen to cut this with your saw, you won't cut through it and fall out of the tree, which would be very bad. So this nylon line, sometimes from the ground, you attach a weight to this and throw it up into the tree. It allows us to set, and then once you get this thing set into the tree, you take the weight off and you tie the rope onto that end, and you pull the rope back over. It allows you to set your rope from the ground.